All right, so today we're gonna dive into something kind of different.
Oh,
Yeah. Have you ever thought about like using the story of Exodus,
uh,
Moses and the burning bush, all that,
okay.
as like a guide for
hmm
launching a company or even like just navigating, changing careers?
Honestly, I'm intrigued, but I'm also a little skeptical. I mean, Exodus is a pretty powerful story, I'll give you that.
Yeah.
But how much practical advice can you really get from like an ancient text,
Right.
for modern businesses and entrepreneurs and all that?
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought too. But there's this podcast
Okay.
called Exodus Towards Success,
Mm-hmm.
and it makes a surprisingly strong case.
Interesting.
Yeah, it pulls out like 5 main lessons
Okay.
from the Exodus journey,
Hmm.
and it's courage, facing the unknown, building on principles, collaboration, and then staying focused.
Okay.
And it connects those themes to, like modern challenges and things in a way that, I don't know, it just kind of clicked for me.
You got my attention.
Yeah.
Let's start with courage. The Israelites leaving Egypt, that's a pretty bold move, even if it was divinely inspired.
Totally. The podcast says that like this act of, them leaving and being liberated is like a strong metaphor
Okay.
for like breaking free from situations that are holding you back.
I like that.
Yeah, and they say that true growth, like, actually begins when you leave your comfort zone.
Hmm.
It's a message that, like, works whether you're thinking about, quitting a job that's going nowhere or, like, taking that leap to start your own business.
Well, it's not just about leaving, though, is it?
Right.
It's about having the courage to, like, face all the opposition and the challenges that come with that.
Yes,
I mean, just think about what Moses had to go through.
Totally.
I mean, Pharaoh was not making it easy for him.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Like, at all.
The podcast uses that actually to show the challenges that, like, entrepreneurs face when they, like, shake things up and disrupt the status quo.
Yeah.
You know?
Like rocking the boat a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. And they compare it to companies like Uber and Airbnb.
Who got a lot of pushback
Mm.
from the big companies, the industries that were already there.
Right. So it's not just enough to have a good idea.
Mhm.
You got to be willing to fight for it.
Totally.
Stick with it even when things get tough.
Yeah.
I think that's a really valuable lesson no matter what you're doing.
100%.
Mm.
Speaking of facing challenges, though, let's talk about crossing the Red Sea.
Oh, yeah, that's a pretty powerful image
Yeah.
of facing the unknown.
Yeah, you're just stepping into it. You're trusting this path that you can't even really see yet.
Yeah, it's a total leap of faith, no doubt.
Yeah. But the podcast makes this point that, like, calculated risk is so important.
Okay.
It's about, like, assessing the situation, trusting your vision,
Mm-hmm.
and then, like, taking that step even when things feel really uncertain.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
It's not just about being reckless.
No.
It's about making informed choices even when there's a lot of unknowns.
Exactly. And they connect this to, like, those moments in your career or in your life when you have to choose between, playing it safe or going for something bigger.
Yeah.
And they even have this great quote. They
Okay.
say, "What's on the other side of fear? Your greatest achievements."
I like that.
Right.
All right, I'm starting to see how this whole Exodus framework can work.
Yeah.
But what about the 10 Commandments?
Okay.
That seems like a bit of a stretch for a business podcast.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
But they actually explain it in a way that makes a lot of sense.
Okay.
It's not really about the religious side of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's more about, like, the principles behind them.
Okay.
Like honesty, integrity, respecting agreements.
Right.
Those are the things that build trust, which is so essential in any business.
So it's like setting up a strong ethical framework,
Yeah.
good foundation
Right.
to build your business on.
Exactly. And they highlight how companies that really stick to those values
Yeah.
often end up having a competitive advantage.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
Yeah, because it builds loyalty with customers and it attracts good people.
Totally. People want to work for companies that they believe in.
Exactly. The podcast sums it up like this.
Okay.
Values are the compass that keeps you on course when the path gets rough.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like a reminder that making ethical choices is so important, especially when you're facing those inevitable challenges that come up.
For sure. Okay. Let's move on to something else.
Okay?
Another big thing in Exodus, building the tabernacle.
Yeah.
How do they connect that to business?
This one's all about collaboration.
Okay.
The tabernacle was this huge project
Oh, yeah. It was massive.
requiring all these specialized skills and a ton of coordination. It really highlights how important teamwork is
Right.
and planning.
Especially for big, complex tasks.
Exactly. And I can see the analogy to a startup.
Oh, totally.
You've got your coders, your designers, your marketing people all working together.
Right. To make it all happen.
Yeah, to bring that vision to life. And it's not just about like throwing a bunch of people at a problem.
No.
It's about using everyone's strengths.
Right. Making sure everybody knows what they're doing.
Exactly. And communicating well.
Yeah.
The podcast actually like dives into how the ancient Israelites might have organized themselves
Oh, wow.
and like the leadership challenges they would have faced.
Interesting.
And then they connect those to like modern project management ideas.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So it's about recognizing that to reach a complex goal, it takes more than just individual brilliance.
Mm-hmm.
You need teamwork
Yeah.
and good leadership.
To make it all come together.
Right. And they emphasize like the power of working together with this quote.
Okay.
A dream you dream alone is only a dream,
Yeah.
but a dream you dream together becomes reality.
Ooh, I like that one.
Yeah, it's a good one. And it really resonates with anyone who's working on a big project.
Absolutely. All right, last but not least, we
Yeah.
have the golden calf.
Oh, yeah.
What's the lesson there? I'm guessing staying focused.
You got
Okay.
the Israelites getting distracted by, something shiny.
Yeah.
That's something we've all experienced.
Oh, for sure.
The podcast uses it as this metaphor for all the distractions and temptations
Mm-hmm.
that can like pull us away from our goals
And for entrepreneurs, I mean, the distractions are everywhere.
everywhere.
Chasing funding trends, getting bogged down in like adding too many features to a product,
Right.
or just like forgetting your core values.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The podcast offers some advice for staying focused,
Okay, I'm listening.
like setting clear priorities, managing your time well,
Mm.
and learning to say no to things that don't really fit with your long-term vision.
So it's all about being intentional,
Yeah.
making conscious choices,
Yeah.
not just jumping at every opportunity that comes along.
Right. And they end this point with a quote that I really liked.
Okay.
Remember why you started. Don't let distractions derail your progress.
Powerful.
Yeah, it's a really good reminder to stay true to your vision.
Well, you've convinced me.
Yeah.
The Exodus story, even without like the religious aspect,
Yeah.
offers some really useful insights
Right.
for dealing with the challenges of entrepreneurship and, achieving success.
It's a different way of looking at things, right?
Yeah, it is.
These old stories, even if you're not religious,
Yeah.
they can offer some timeless wisdom
Mm-hmm.
for growing both personally and professionally.
Think about it. Are you taking those bold steps?
Mm-hmm.
Are you building on a solid foundation of, good principles?
Yeah.
Are you collaborating well and staying focused on the big picture?
It's so easy to lose sight of that.
Yeah, it is. But the Exodus journey, with all the ups and downs,
Mhm.
can be like a roadmap for figuring out our own paths to success.
I love that.
Me too.
Great deep dive.
Thanks.
Thanks for being here.
Of course, anytime.
Yeah, this was fun.
It was.
All right, till next time.
See you later.